And a pleasant good evening to you. Hope everyone is doing okay. And welcome to another edition of The Works. I am your host, Keith Williams. And today I would like to spend a little bit of time to talk to you about the results of a campaign I've been working on since May the 2nd, rather. And in this campaign, I decided to highlight some of our Democratic candidates who are running for office here in the state of Alabama. And so what I've done after talking to a candidate who is running for office, I decided, but first of all, let's just say that as we come across this primary election season, and we have about 3 days left before the election. Now, of course, you know, Democratic candidates in the state of Alabama are not getting a lot of media attention. No TV, radio, print, they're not getting any of that. And also, too, a lot of the Republican candidates who are running for office, that's pretty much all you see on TV, newspapers, radio, and even online. Republican candidates seem to be getting most of the attention. Why? Some say that might be a mystery. But some people say that, hey, they have the money and they have the resources to be able to advertise on those type of mediums. Whereas the Democratic candidates in the state of Alabama, they don't have a lot of money and resources to be on TV and radio. So you don't hear any of the ads or see any of the ads. So many people assume that we don't have any Democratic candidates that are running for seats such as the U.S. Senate, Governor, U.S. House of Representatives, State Senate, State House of Representatives, judicial candidates, etc. And that's not true. The problem is that the mainstream media is not giving Democratic candidates in the state of Alabama any type of coverage at all. Why? I don't know. I can only speculate. You know, maybe they are being paid to only push the Republican candidates. I have no idea. So after talking with a Democratic primary candidate, I decided to bring to the light our Democratic candidates who are running for office here in the state of Alabama. And what I have done here on the Australia broadcast section, what I have done is create a series of blogs known as those Dem, DEM Spotlight. This blog series was dedicated to highlighting all of the Democratic candidates that are running for office. And that campaign started on May the 2nd. So from May the 2nd to May the 12th, the Australia broadcast section, OBS, had displayed these series of blogs daily for 10 days in order to give voters in the state of Alabama the ability to look up and get more information about the Democratic candidates that are running throughout the state of Alabama. Now, you also have Greater Birmingham Ministries that also provided an election guide, but these are candidates that are running in Jefferson County. Here at OBS, we provided information for all Democratic candidates, not just in Jefferson County, but throughout the state of Alabama. So you have two sources to where you can get information on Democratic candidates so that you can make an intelligent choice for who you want to vote for at the polls. Now, you'll probably see organizations like Alabama New South Coalition, Jefferson County Citizens Alliance, Alabama Democratic Party. They're probably going to be out in all of the polling places passing out their information and tell you to support these candidates. But those are their choices. Please do not allow these organizations to decide who or persuade you to vote for someone that you may not be comfortable with, you may not know who they are, you may not have enough information on it. Please do not vote blindly. As a public service to voters in Alabama, OBS decided to provide these series of blogs over 10 days from May the 12th, from May the 2nd to May the 12th, to give you some detailed information about all of the Democratic candidates that are running for office. And today I am here to give you a report on how that campaign went. So let me just say this, each of the blogs that we presented provided a different slate of candidates. Like, for example, one day would have been the gubernatorial candidates. Then another day would be the US Senate. And then another day we had this Alabama State House of Representatives, just to give you an example. So each day we had a different slate of candidates. We even had a blog about what is the Alabama State Democratic Executive Committee. Believe it or not, you will have on the ballot a lot of people that are running to represent the state Democratic Party on May the 24th. And that makeup consists of 210 people. You have one male and one female representing one district. And in Alabama, there are 105 House districts in Alabama. And so that's where the 210 comes from. That's where that number comes from. So you got one male and one female for each of the 105 districts, making a total of elected members of the Alabama State Democratic Executive Committee, 210. And then after the election, you have half a dozen plus caucuses that would be selected, and members would be selected to each of those caucuses that would serve at large. Now, these are individuals that would be appointed by the SDC when they have their first meeting. And so we provided a blog dedicated specifically for them. What is the SDC? What do they do? What's the makeup, etc. So who governs? And believe it or not, the SDC is the legislative body of the Alabama Democratic Party. And they possess the same or similar legislative powers as your city council does, or your county commission, or your state senate, or state representative, or even Congress. So they share some of the same legislative powers, both the Democratic Executive Committee and the Republican Executive Committee. They all go by your House district. And so they're going to be on the ballot as well. So if you are a Democrat, more than likely you would vote the Democratic ticket during the primary. If you're Republican, you're probably going to be voting on the Republican ticket. And during the primaries, you cannot cross, vote. Once you vote on for a particular party, if there's a runoff, then you have to vote for that particular party. So for example, if I voted the Democratic ticket on May 24th and kind of find out that some of the races are going to be in a runoff, then that means I have to continue to vote on that Democratic ticket. Now, in a general election, you can vote either way, Democrat or Republicans. There's no restriction on that. But just for the primary, you only You only have to vote with your party affiliation, nevertheless. Now, we do have some Democrats that vote for, Republicans, and you have some Republicans that vote for Democrats. So that's nothing new. Even in the state of Alabama, we had that case before. For example, in 2017, when Doug Jones um, ran for the seat that was once held by Jeff Sessions, you had a lot of Republicans that did not vote for Roy Moore. Some of them either, wrote in another Republican person, or they voted for Doug Jones. So it's not uncommon for a member of a party to vote for someone that represents another party. So that's nothing new for that. But as far as our blog series, those Dem Spotlight, I am proud to say that this blog has done exceedingly well. Again, it highlights all of the Democratic candidates who are running for office in the state of Alabama. And I am proud to say that that blog series had done exceptionally well. We are getting an average of 250 views per day, per blog. And so that blog, if you put all, and we also did a bonus blog on your Alabama executive cabinet positions that was initially left out of the series. Those are, people who are running for Public Service Commission, Secretary of State, State Auditor, State Treasurer, the State Agriculture Commission, the head person for that. Those are your executive cabinet positions. And in the state of Alabama, they are appointed. Whereas on they are elected, excuse me, in the state of Alabama. But on the national level, your cabinet members are appointed by the president, and they have to be confirmed by the Senate. So it's two different ways of having a cabinet on the federal level versus the state level. And on the state level, most of your cabinet members they're elected by the people. And over the last 20 years or 25 years or so, most of those cabinet positions have been filled or elected Republican. So it's a heavily Republican executive cabinet in the state of Alabama that has always been that way for the past 20, 25 years. And so those offices is also up for re-election as well as two of the three seats on the Alabama Public Service Commission. Now, the third seat, which is actually the primary seat, which is the president of the Public Service Commission, is always elected during a presidential election. And so that one would not be up for election until 2024, which is about 2 years from now. I kind of excuse the alarm, but we're going to continue anyway with this. Hopefully, we'll just give a short report. But for each of the blogs that we had presented here at OBS, we have been getting an average of 250 page views per day. We had distributed to just about every Democratic related Facebook page for the state of Alabama, including some other Alabama state political Facebook pages and groups as well. And that's where we're seeing a whole lot of our numbers coming from. And we have dozens of people who have given us our props and credit for providing this valuable resource to Democrats, because again, they're not getting the exposure from mainstream media. and we can talk about why that's the case. The main reason is because Democratic candidates usually tend not to have the adequate funding or resources to either reach the masses, for example, on TV or radio and print. And we found out over the years that Republicans, always, have those type of resources. So that's why you always see them on TV, with their ads, or you always hear them on the radio. And so what OBS has done is we again decided to do these series of blogs, and we posted it on just about every political website on Facebook and as well as Instagram as we possibly can. And so this will give us an opportunity to reach about 1 million voters throughout the state of Alabama. And for the many county Democratic organizations that are on social media, they have caught on as well. And they actually have been sharing these blogs with their voters. So it is our intent to reach about 2 million people with these blogs alone. That does not include the various events that we have participated in. As a matter of fact, we have one coming up on Monday as a Get Out to Vote rally that's going to be in Birmingham the day before the election. So if you are a candidate that's running for office, we will provide more information on that on Facebook. So please be on the lookout for that. I have to say that I'm pretty ecstatic and so happy that I had the opportunity to present these blogs to you, the voters of Alabama, so that you would know all of the Democratic candidates that are running. And I must say that this was something that was not just thrown together. We have done our research. We had a team of researchers that have done research on every single candidate that is running. And we have provided a detailed summary of those candidates. So on there, we talk a little bit about them, a short biography, their candidate profile, if they have one. Some of them, we use a different type of profile so you know who they are, what their platform is, what issues that they stand on, their campaign slogan, a little known fact about your favorite candidate, and ways that you can contact them. Most of them have websites. A good number of them, you're able to reach them through social media, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the like. And so I'm very happy of the work that we have done to present the Democratic candidates in the state. And we have, to this day, an average of 250 page views per day. We're expecting those numbers to climb this weekend, and especially on Monday, as people begin to make up their minds on who they want to vote for. According to Alabama Secretary of State, John Merrill, he's expecting a turnout statewide to be about 25 to 35%. That is kind of low. And that's kind of been the average for the past 20 years here in the state of Alabama. Well, I am encouraging you on Tuesday, May 24th, to please go to the polls and vote. Let your voice be heard. Don't stay home. Because a lot of people think that your national elections are important, which they are. But Your local elections is where the majority of the decisions will be made that affects where you live locally. So it's very important that you go out and vote and cast your ballot for the candidate of your choice. And we at OBS is just one outlet to which we are providing as much information as you possibly can. And we also have been interviewing candidates as well, those who were accepted our invite to come on our podcast, one of our podcasts, or several, a couple of other podcasts to be interviewed. We had Democrats to come on. We have Republicans to come on. We are nonpartisan. So anyone who is running for office, no matter what party you are more than welcome to be a guest on either one of our podcasts to talk about your platform. So we're very ecstatic and very proud of the work that we have done on this blog, those Dem Spotlights. And this is the primary edition. Now, once we see who the Democrat nominees are, then we're going to do a general election series on blogs, those Dem Spotlights, possibly in August or September, somewhere around there, we would do a general election series of blogs, those Dem Spotlights. And on this one, we will provide a little bit more in-depth information on the candidate. I feel that we have done a great job with the primary version of it, but when we do the general election version, we're going to go a little bit deeper than what we did for the primary version. So that's going to be either late August or early September. And again, it's going to be informative. We're going to dissect the candidates, and you're really going to get an idea of who the candidates are. So this is just a sample of what we're able to do. And again, this is a public service to the voters of the state of Alabama, especially to our Democratic voters who are not really getting enough information about the Democratic candidates. There has not been a lot of forums and debates as far as the primary is concerned, but there has been organizations that have been providing information to voters about the candidates. So that's something that has definitely been done. And again, we're very proud of the work that has been done in making sure that the voters in the state of Alabama are getting the information that they need in order to make an intelligent choice on who they want to represent them. So you got a lot of offices here. You got governor, you got governor, you got U.S. Senate, you got U.S. House of Representatives, you got your state legislators, you got your county commissions, you got your judicial candidates. So there's a lot of people that are running, and we want to give you as much information as we possibly can, so that on Tuesday, May 24th, which is roughly about 3 days from now, that you will have enough information to make an intelligent decision on who you want to vote for. And I am very proud of what we have done. I think this has been the most aggressive political campaign that OBS has done. Now, even though we are nonpartisan, we felt that because Democratic candidates are not getting media exposure that we decide to do this series of blogs. And you're probably like, well, why haven't we done that with the Republican candidates? Well, because they're being covered all of the time. You know, every time you listen to the radio or turn on the TV, there they are. So they're doing fine, but our Democratic candidates are not getting that exposure, and that's why we decide to do these series of blogs, and that's why organizations decide to do these voter guides. You got voter guides, so you got so the information is out there. I encourage you to research your candidate. We're coming down to the final stretch. So if you have not decided who you're going to vote for, please, I encourage you to go to our Facebook page. That's Australia broadcast section. It's all in lowercase letters. And you would find our blogs. Roughly, there are 10 of them, 9 in the original series, and then we have that bonus one with the executive cabinet positions that we have left out. So we didn't want to leave them out. There are Democratic candidates that are running for those particular offices, and we have information from them, from Secretary of State to Public Service Commission. So we do have Democratic candidates who are running for those offices. So again, go to our Facebook page at Austerlid broadcast section, and there you will get all of the detailed information that you need, and links to their candidate profiles, websites, and any social media page that they have. Ladies and gentlemen, this is probably like one of the most, I feel is one of the most thorough research campaigns that we have ever done in terms of getting information out to people about the candidates that are running for office. In the past 5 to 10 years, we have nonprofits who are also nonpartisan. They also have provided information about the candidates as well. But ours is kind of a little bit more thorough than some of the others. But nevertheless, the information is out there. So we got election guides, we got we got the blogs. It's just so much information that's out there that you're able to take advantage of. So please take some time out this weekend, the next 3 days or so, to familiarize yourself with the candidates and get all the information that you have at your disposal, so that when you go to the polls on Tuesday, you have a clear idea of who the candidates are, and you have a clear idea or who to vote for. So these are grassroots efforts. In fact, none of the candidates have paid us to do this. We are doing this as a public service to the voters, because we feel that voters should have as much information about the candidates as they possibly can. And so they don't have to go to certain organizations and rely on them, to say who to vote for. Because a lot of times these organizations, they're biased, and they already have their slate of candidates that they're supporting and they are pushing for the voters to vote for. But now that you have all this information, you are able to make a decision for yourself who to vote for. So I am glad that we have done this for the primary edition. We will have a general election edition coming in late August or early September. So be on the lookout for that. And that pretty much wrap up those Dem Spotlight campaign here. I hope that you have enjoyed reading the blog. Again, you still have an opportunity to read the blogs and get as much information as you possibly can. So on Tuesday, you're able to make an intelligent decision. So that will wrap up this edition of the Works. So happy that you're able to join us. And we have two candidates that are scheduled to come on tomorrow. One of them is Jefferson County District Attorney Danny Carr will be on tomorrow. And that's at 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central. And then we will have Latonya Millhouse, who is running for Alabama State House of Representatives, District 52. And she will be on at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Central Time. So I hope that you will join us tomorrow for those candidate interviews. And again, all of these are just a public service to you, the voters in Alabama, so that you can have all the information that you need to make an intelligent choice on who you want to vote for. But most importantly, go to the polls and vote. They're already expecting a low turnout on Tuesday. Let's prove them wrong, okay? Don't stay at home. Go to the polls. It's not going to take you more than maybe 10 or 15 minutes to cast your ballot. Surely you have enough time to do that. So you can have all the information in the world, but it wouldn't make any sense for you to stay at home with all of that knowledge. It's out there. I encourage you to take advantage of it. And that will conclude this edition of the Works. Thank you so much for joining us on today, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody. And again, make your voice count. Your vote is your voice. Go out to the polls and vote tomorrow on Tuesday, May 24th. Thank you. Have a great evening.